Let's start with the first and foremost question that comes to mind. Why a podcast studio in school?
We are totally against textbooks. So glad that Manish ji will be conducting this program himself and through his team.
Yes.
I'm telling you, children, it will be a game changer for you.
Thank you so much, Deepak ji. Namaste.
Namaste, Manish.
Namaste. And I'm so happy to be inside this newly built podcast studio. And I'm also glad I was told I'm the first person to be recording here inside. You've done podcasts earlier with your students, but
Yes.
I'm the first student of yours. in a
Absolutely,
way.
we have just set this up.
Yes, I'm always learning from you, so I would call myself your student. And let's begin this podcast. I'm very, very sure that our viewers are very excited to hear you speak and to learn about new things.
And I think they will be very excited to listen to you as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deepak ji. Let's start with the first and foremost question that comes to mind since we are sitting in this newly built podcast studio. Why a podcast studio in school, and how did you think of this to get it for your students and for them to learn podcasting right here, right now at Sunshine Worldwide?
So as a school, we are very different. We want to do a lot of things that are application oriented.
Right.
We are totally against textbooks. So we don't want to do bookish learning.
Wow.
And that is why we want everything to be, and also to be with times. As we say that you should be ahead of times.
Correct.
So we are actually ahead of times.
Absolutely.
We have been pioneers in a lot of things in Goa that we have introduced as in education, school education. So, and this is one of it. So we have been actually doing SALF, SALF, the Sunshine Art and Literature Festival, for a couple of years. And there we have had people who have been teaching podcasts to our children. YouTubing, podcasting, storytelling, story writing, and things like those. We did a filmmaking course also previously, and so these things are really interested. These children are very interested in these kind of things.
Right.
And these are connected to the real world.
Right.
So once you connect with real world, children are really interested.
Right.
And you can teach anything and everything
Right.
through all these means.
Right.
So why not a podcast when it is so popular these days?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, it reminds me of our leader in Delhi, Mrs. Usha Ram, who was our principal in school, and she had the same mindset as you. She changed the placement of our school in Delhi only because she was forward-thinking. She was also a visionary, like you are. That podcasting is going to help your students in coming times once they pass out of school. It's going to help them so much, and even inside the school, they will get an outlet. They'll get a voice. There's a creative expression, and it's so beautifully. It's coming together, and I'm so happy to be here. Also, there is this philosophy that I was told about, and which really caught my attention. Of course, there are many school philosophies at Sunshine Worldwide, but there was this one that had learning to learn as its topic or title, if I may. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? It's something that...
So it's very, very simple, Manish ji.
Yeah.
In today's time, information is available on fingertip.
Correct.
Those days are gone where people used to be dependent on textbooks or information. Now what we need to know, which information to get, from where to get,
Right.
how to get,
Right.
and most importantly why to get.
Right.
Then how to process the information,
Right.
and finally how to apply the information.
Correct.
Now what do we need for this? A concept of learning to learn. If you know how to learn something, then you can learn anything and everything on this earth. You don't need to be told that you learn this and not this.
Right.
Now I'm doing podcasting. Now I did not know anything about podcasting. I asked my son, I asked some of my colleagues, I went on Google and researched. So that is the whole point, that children should be inquiring, researching, finding out, and finally learning on their own.
Correct.
So to be in the tribe is a vision. So do you know what will happen 5 years from now? Some information will be obsolete already.
Of course.
They may have to find out new information.
Of course.
And this new information will have to be found out by them only, because they may not be in school those days.
Right.
Or in college either.
Right.
So if you have to learn something new, you should be knowing how to learn.
Right.
And that's why we were so very clear on giving this concept of learning to learn rather than learn to answer exams.
I love it. Which also brings me to my course, which is also based on the umbrella of media literacy. And as you said, and you rightly said, that content right now is available at our fingertips. And they are going to be consuming it. We can't stop it. And we shouldn't. In fact, we should empower them and also let them know the tools to create it and to be able to have a voice.
Absolutely.
So in simple terms, if they have a device in their hands, it can be a tool. It also can be a weapon, right? So we are marching towards it being a tool. We have made this visual storytelling curriculum that I'll be telling you about. But we made it only because we felt that they need to know, they need to have a voice, they need to know what to watch, they need to know, like for example, we had a war situation recently. And the unverified news channels really came to light. And the verified news channels also came to light, and people started following them. People figured out that, media works differently. If it's verified, where to look for it, what are the avenues to look for it, and which ones to not to follow. So, media literacy is very, very important. And as you rightly said, you also spoke about a filmmaking course. And we also have a visual storytelling course that we want to bring to your school. Also because it works on the soft skills. That I had been working on my craft, I had been working on my characters, I had been doing the homework, I was doing behind the scenes bit. So I realized that, if you know the body language of a person, like you're very open right now, you're receptive to me. I might just start, being receptive just like you, I might just sit like you, or at least I know from the fact, the way you're listening or the way you're nodding your head, I know that you're understanding me right now.
Sure.
You're also maybe from some experience of your life, you're also relating to it. That okay, this happened to me also, I did the same thing, or I was put in an uncomfortable spot or a situation and I overcame that situation in a particular way. All of this is coming from filmmaking, for me at least. I was handling an event company, whereas I was handling the marketing and communications and the buyers, and it was for apparels. And I realized that, just because I have the reading ability, I have the awareness, I know how to modulate my voice, it helped me grow in that organization really quick. Of course, which brought me to my new chapter, and I've been doing this for a couple of years and really excited from it. I saw this camera for the first time today, and I was like, it's the same excitement I felt the first time I saw a camera. And which was way back in college, which was in second year when I did a show for DD, how I got it, what happened, what transpired. Of course, it's a story for another time. But I saw this and I was so excited and so nervous at the same time, and I felt those jitters, you know what I mean? So this is something that has been my calling. We designed this course for students to have pre-production, production and post-production inside the premises, inside the school. Them executing everything from writing a script to directing to acting to editing, all of it, sound design, everything combined together for them to find a voice. And for me, and this is what I've noticed every time I ask someone, why do you watch a particular movie or entertainment or whatever? And the first answer, and I would want to ask you also, is why do we watch movies? Why do we consume content?
I think it's basically for two reasons. One is for entertainment, and one is that something people say that this is good to learn from, but the saddest part is that we all learn from that movie, but it is very short-lived.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't continue for long.
Right. So I would love to bring your attention to something else also, which movies provide. For example, and we cover this in our classes also in details. But let's say you said entertainment as a top thing, right? I have kept it as the last thing.
Wonderful.
Why? Because information is what you're gathering. from any piece of content. Let's say we are recording this. There is so much that comes to play. There is so much people and our viewers can figure out from the way you are dressed, from the way I am dressed, where I am coming from, what is my background, where you are coming from, what has been your background, and what have you led, and what are your achievements. And for me to just be this person, this happy-go-lucky person who has built something with experts and a well-rounded, polished thing, because I love doing this. And you love educating these young champions, and so it comes across, right? And this is what we did. This is what we have been doing, and this is what I intend to do with Sunshine also. So, with your permission, sir, whenever I can bring it to your school, I would be very, very happy, and I would love to call it our school now.
Sure, Manishji. That was so nice knowing about you a little.
Thank you so much.
And as you talked about the voice choice ownership,
right,
and that is what we follow in our school as well,
right,
and very, very passionately. So children have a voice and they make their choices and they have freedom and they take ownership totally.
Right.
Now, I would like to ask you one question, Manish. You've been talking about yourself, but about this course, how is it going to be really beneficial to our learners?
That's a wonderful question, sir. I would love to tell you how it's going to be beneficial. So, as I said from my own life, we learned how I was able to do different things and apply this knowledge to different things and excel in them. That is one. Two, if they want to pursue it, let's say an advanced course or an advanced knowledge-based curriculum, that is also possible.
So you're talking about the filmmaking course?
Yes, but the third, so I'm talking about the media literacy where we have three arms. One is filmmaking, one is podcasting, and one is theatre. So we do all three or any one of your choosing. Why I like it is a very simple reason that students come out owning their soft skills more than what are the basics of filmmaking. That can be learned through YouTube. But what we are doing here is actually polishing their true identity, their true individuality, if I may say. Right? So we are working on the soft skills. While they make this short film for the school, it could be a documentary about the school, it could be a short film with a social cause. It's of their choosing. Of course, there are other exercises. Of course, there are voice modulation exercises. There is how to build the character, how to form a story, the conflict, the design of it, how to go about shooting it, the scheduling of a movie, how to budget a movie.
So will you include also dialogue writing, etc.?
Of course, everything.
Dialogue delivery, dialogue writing.
Everything that goes inside making a movie, they are just going to be making it inside the school in a safe environment, along with our guidance, and that's what is going to happen in this course. And I've seen the results.
What will be the duration of this course?
So we are looking at 3 months. Of course, it can be managed according to
so
school
3 months,
schedule.
how many hours altogether?
So we have around 50 hours and plus the shooting hours.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends on the batches and how we are
3 months will divide into 50 hours.
Yes. And I would love for it to be on a weekend, because that way they also get the entire week for the homework. So if, for example, they have worked on character development, then for the entire week they can work on it and bring it back, we see it, and then we move on to another thing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so as we were speaking about, sorry to interrupt, but I think I missed the point about the entertainment bit we were talking about. So for me, content is king. Why? Because first of all, it will give you something inside the culture. Where you're coming from, the cultural background or the cultural references. So that is the first thing that I see. The second thing I see is performances and the execution and the voice the director has used. So for example, Pursuit of Happiness. There's another kind of voice that movie brings and another emotion that it touches. So for me personally, I don't like repeating movies because I feel there is so much content and I should invest my time in watching something new. But Pursuit of Happiness is something that I have gone back to time and time again. The only reason it stayed with me. So there are movies that are going to stay. There are movies, let's say, once you're invested in the process, sir, you start looking at content differently. Because I'm invested in the process,
I can imagine.
I look at performances, I look at execution, I look at lighting, I look at editing, and I look at how they've got it together. There's a beautiful film called Second Chance, which has just won awards recently, by a batchmate of mine. I studied at Xavier Institute of Communications, XIC, in Mumbai, and a batchmate, Subhadra Mahajan, has just made this beautiful movie called Second Chance, which is about this woman who goes back to Himalayas and she finds the second chance, and it's a beautiful story. Why? Because of the way it looks. You have to see the trailer, and it's in fact it's now released and it's selected.
So Manish, breaking you in between.
Yeah.
Have you also done movies yourself or created movies?
Yes, sir. So I have been working for the last 15 years or maybe more. I started with this independent movie called Shuttlecock Boys, and I moved on to do TV. My favorite ones have been The Hunt for Hotstar, and there's this Barabata Chaubis Karol Bagh that I started with. I played the negative lead in it. So bachpan mein I used to tell people, "Arey mujhe hero banna hai." And the first big break that I had was a villain. So hero to nahi, but villain, but chalo anti-hero.
But villain is also a hero.
Villain is an anti-hero now. They've renamed it.
Yeah.
So that happened. Then I moved on to web series. There's Salt City on Sony Live. There is Rakshak 2 on Amazon Mini, which recently released with Barun Sopti and others. And Salt City has very good names like
So do you love acting more?
Sir, it's a difficult question. When I'm in front of the camera, I love acting, and I really wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for acting. So that is the number one, first and foremost thing in my life. I would call it my first love. However, I am not after fame. I am not after success, as they say about stars, so to say. What I am after is giving back from what I have learned. Giving it back to students now. And the second thing is, if it has shaped my life, it has to be through good stories. So now I've been producing music videos, corporate videos, we've been doing a lot of writing for stories, we've been pitching a lot of stories to producers to make professionally, and we've been running this course. So for me, it's been all about acting after checking other avenues in between. But it's always been about acting. It will always be about, first and foremost about acting, but then as a filmmaker, you also feel that there is something that you have more agency, you have a voice which comes from being a director. So I feel as a filmmaker also I enjoy my bit. When I'm behind the camera, when I'm teaching others to do it, then there's another charm to it. There's another happiness or joy that it brings. So it really depends. It's a very difficult question you've asked me. It's a festival of sorts in school where children can participate, make their own movies, get
that would be so nice.
Advice and suggestions on how to make it better. And not just about giving awards, to just be about participating and to be able to express and deliver. But that brings me to another question for you about the vision. About the vision that you have for your students in this school and the college.
So we have only one vision, Manishji, and that's to build Viksit Bharat with unconditional happiness. So we want to create a new world where people understand each other, they love each other, and they are like absolutely in a position where happiness is from within. So Anand, jise kehte hain.
Right.
And how does that come? That only comes by one thing, when you understand that this is your responsibility and you do it willingly.
Right.
You don't do it with pressure.
Right.
You don't do it because somebody is telling you to do, but you do it because you want to do it.
Correct.
You love to do it. And secondly, you don't compare yourself with anyone. You don't see that he's doing so I want to do that. But you say, what I am doing, I want to better it. I want to better it, and I am feeling so good about it.
Right.
So when there's no competition, there's no comparison, automatically there is happiness.
Right.
There is calmness in you.
Right.
And that is what our vision is of the school, finally to be unconditionally happy for the Viksit Bharat.
So it also connects with your learning to learn philosophy that you have in school, and connects beautifully with that. Which brings me to my last question, because we also have to let our viewers go, and they have invested a lot of time in us.
Yeah, but before that, you actually wanted to talk about the college as well. So
yes, sir.
For the college, the philosophy is basically entrepreneurial. I have always seen through my meetings in the CII or the GCCI or the FICCI, etc., that there's a big gap between industry and academia. And why is that so? Because our education does not prepare children for the workplace. There's a big gap.
Right.
That's theoretical, as I told you before.
Yes.
We don't believe in theory.
Right.
And practically, people are not ready.
Right.
I am being a science graduate, I teach my accountants how to pass an entry.
Right.
Or I teach my chartered accountant how to make my final balance sheet. Oh, theek hai, Marwadi khoon hai, that's a different story. But still,
Yes.
it is like that.
Right.
So that's what my vision of the college is, that you should learn with a working degree and practice before you can deliver it at the workplace. Be an entrepreneurial, have that entrepreneurial mindset for sure. Don't work for anyone, take ownership.
Right.
So voice choice ownership.
Right.
It's your thing, you take ownership.
Right.
And you work for yourself.
Right.
Because we are all here to work for ourselves. Though we say that he's my employer, he's my boss, but it's actually not.
Right.
We have to do it for ourselves.
Correct. And it brings our course beautifully into this, as your philosophy goes. Our thing is also about life tools and life skills and how they can use it in their workspace, be it, let's say, their own business or working for someone or marketing campaigns or advertising and branding. So they understand all of these things. Also, how to consume an ad. What is the ad telling you? What is the voice? What are they trying? Are they trying subconsciously to tell you, okay, this is good or this is bad? Let's say Peskin. And what it does. So we cover all of that in our course. But which brings me to a very, very important question. And for me, the answer is yes. But for you, I want to know how. Do you think parents play a role in education?
I think parents don't play a role in education because they are confused.
Right.
And they want to do something which they don't know and they don't know about.
Right.
Like, you go to a doctor, you trust the doctor. Parents say, nahi, we know it all. They don't know actually what education should be.
Right.
And they don't role play also.
Right.
They have all things that they wish to do and they love to do, but that may not be right education for their children
Right.
at the right time.
Right.
Because these children are born in a different era altogether.
Right.
They're born with a mobile phone in their hands.
Absolutely.
And they have to be taught, or I would say they should learn in a different manner.
Right.
So parents should stay away, they should trust the educators
Yes.
with a vision and leave the education onto the learners, onto the educators,
Right.
rather than getting into it.
Right.
Because first they have to change their mindset. Only then they can work in that manner. We are already ahead of times.
Right.
I'm not saying that all schools do that,
Right.
and that's why parents should, all parents should,
Right.
but at least our school parents should.
Absolutely. So they should open up themselves to just trust the educators and also
Absolutely.
open that area of exploration for their students or for their kids, so to say. So if they open that area of exploration, in that sense, they're opening them up to have new experiences.
So I normally
Right.
tell my parents, you don't own your children. They're just born to you. You're just taking care of them.
Right.
Don't own them.
Right.
Don't try to live your dreams through them.
Right.
Let them be. They are different. I've seen twins in the school, born to the same parents, went to the same school, have the same environment, sleeping in the same room, everything same,
Right.
exactly, but
Right.
ways apart. So there's no
And we're talking about twins.
Yeah, twins. Born 1 minute, at 1 minute difference
Wow.
with each other.
Wow.
And absolutely different. So,
Pretty intriguing.
yeah.
And so, should we tell our viewers about the demo class and the surprise
Yes,
we
why
have for
not?
them?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. So, Sir and I, we have decided to get visual storytelling to Sunshine Worldwide, and we are going to be holding a demo class for the same. The dates are yet to be decided, and we will come up with that soon. So, if you are interested in applying, please give your names to the authorities, and you will get to know them. Thank you so much for watching. Thank
So we
you,
are so
sir.
glad that Manish ji will be conducting this program himself and through his team.
Yes.
And it will be, I'm telling you, children, it will be a game changer for you. So don't miss it.
Amazing. It was, as usual, it was amazing, sir. And I hope to talk to you again soon. And let's record something for our students really soon.
Sure,
Which brings me to another thing, that the students can now have regular podcasts on this channel. So the next one is where we left. What roles do parents play in education? So we'll discuss that a little more. At least you will discuss that, or someone else will discuss that, not me. But it is going to be an ongoing conversation, and I feel parents should open up to new opportunities and what this school is doing. So thank you, sir, again.
And that's what we will be doing at Sunshine.
Yes.
It will not be the same speakers or the people who will conduct the podcast. There will be different people who will be conducting every time. We'll give a lot of opportunities to our educators, to our children, learners, and to our parents.
Wow.
So have a wonderful podcasting sessions. All the best.
All the best.